some type of feud going on, claims of harassment over social media.
Billy and Bill got to threatening messages.
You don't see couples like them every day, and now they're dead.
We had a whodunit double murder.
Most bizarre case I've had in 38 years.
What is the motive here?
There was a lot of manipulation going on.
The emails gave us probable cause.
Will you please tell me the damn truth?
Because everybody's been pointing fingers at you. I know you know who you're supposed to be. Is the CIA here? CIA?
This Chris person was supposedly associated with the CIA. Was this a black op hit?
I didn't do it.
Johnson County 911.
Honey, I need an ambulance bad.
Okay, what's going on?
All I see is blood on his neck. Oh my God.
Blood on his
Oh my
neck?
God. There's no pulse on either one of them. There's babies here. He don't look right. He looks like he's been beat. Oh God.
What's the female's name?
Billy Jean. His name's Billy Jean.
Do you know how long maybe they've been there?
I don't know. They're cold. They're white.
Okay, how's the baby?
Looks like maybe it's been upset, crying for a while, and probably cried till he can't cry no more.
Me and Billy talked to each other every single day. We would make sure each other was out of bed to go to our job. We depended on each other. Billy was my best friend. Billy met Billie Jean in 2010. They worked together at Parkdale Mills. Billie Jean, she was good for Billy. You could tell that they would have been together forever. Billy loved his family. When he had Tyler and had Billie Jean, that was the happiest I think he'd ever been. You don't see couples like them every day. The morning this happened, my husband's sister, Mary Jo, she came up to my house and she looked like she had been hit by a truck or something. And she just looked at me and said, "They're dead." And I was like, "Who?" And then she said that it was Billy and Billie Jean.
I responded with my officers. I entered this house and I found Billy had received one gunshot wound to the head, and his throat had been cut. In the next room, Billie Jean was laying in the floor at the foot of the baby crib with a gunshot wound to the side of the head. And that's where they had located the child when they arrived. It was still in her arms. I've knew these people all my life, and it was very hard for me to deal with. It was bad. Very bad.
Mr. Roy Charles Stevens, a good friend of Bill and Billy's, was the first person that had found the victims. It was Mr. Stevens' wife was the one who made the 911 call.
I walked in and walked through and I looked. I said, what the hell's wrong with this picture?
The door's always unlocked. Anybody that knows that place, any friends, family, know that that back sliding glass door is always open.
I kept hollering as I was walking through to the bedrooms.
Okay.
And found Billy. That damn boy's like my brother, man.
Oh, I'm sure. Okay.
I have never been on a scene like that before. We hardly ever have any type of murders, especially two victims that have been murdered in a residence.
We all just stood back and like, what actually has happened? It's not real. This didn't really happen. Why would someone come in here and do this?
Will you please tell me the damn truth when you
We
find
will,
out?
whatever we find out. We got a TBI coming.
Anytime we have a serious thing, like a murder, we call the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation to assist us to investigate because they have more resources than we do. And we needed all the help we could get.
We are working this case together. It's 100% cooperation and sharing of information. It took us 3-4 hours to go through the scene. It's like peeling an onion. You have to go through it one little layer at a time. We knew that we had a whodunit, double murder. A baby was found in the house in Billie Jean Hayward's arms. The baby, Tyler, had been transported to the hospital to be checked for any possible injuries.
I can remember he had blood on his head. He was okay. They let his grandma, that's Billie Jean's mom, take him. That will be the best thing for him.
Whoever killed these people didn't kill the child, and had to be a reason for that.
This is Colonel Scott Lyon.
We immediately started interviewing friends and family to find out who would have wanted to kill Bill or Billie Jean.
What's the word on the street? Word on the street, I've heard talk to Janelle Potter and her family.
Initially, what we were hearing, there was just some type of feud going on. Claims of harassment over social media, back and forth between Bill and Billie Jean and the Potter family. Janelle Potter, Janelle's mother, Barbara, and Janelle's dad, Buddy. Did they have any enemies? Any problems with anybody?
The only person I can think of would be Janelle Potter. Last summer, Billy and Bill got threatening messages from her.
Anything you ask us?
Just try your best
That's what we do.
to find out who took Tyler's mom and dad, because now he has to grow up without one.
One other person that came up was Billy Payne's second cousin, Jamie Curd.
We had got to talking about Jamie and all this stuff that went on with the conflict between him and Billy.
Everyone was saying that Janelle Potter and Jamie Curd were a couple.
You know, we found out through the interviews with the friends that Bill got into a fight with Jamie Curd because of the feud with the Potters.
And tonight, Jamie, he had a red mark on his right cheek. I don't know if it's a welt or not, but it caught my eye.
Okay.
When you asked that question, who are their enemies? The most consistent names that came up were Jamie Curd and the Potters, Janelle and Barbara and Buddy. We needed to find out what the feud was and speak with the Potter family.
Hey.
How you doing? Potter? We are. That's good.
We saw that yesterday on the news. I mean, that was a shock.
We had heard that there's a problem with you and Neil.
Carol Black.
Everybody always points fingers at us for something.
No, there ain't nobody pointing a finger.
I mean, I'm sorry it happened, but they have been harassing the living crap out of you.
Bill and Billie Jean's friends were saying Janelle was harassing them. The Potters said that no, it was Billie Jean and Bill harassing Janelle. You know, who was actually doing harassing? We didn't know who to believe.
Billy never said anything bad about Janelle.
If there was problems with harassment over social media, any reasonable person would not think that would lead to murder.
Someone is going to wind up in serious trouble. My advice to you is take this computer and throw it out in the backyard.
We didn't know if we had just a mad killer on the loose. The urgency to find out what happened and get someone arrested was definitely on our shoulders. Janelle Potter lived with her parents, Barbara and Marvin Potter, also known as Buddy. The Potters moved to Mountain City from Pennsylvania. Buddy was a veteran of the Vietnam War. He served as a Marine. Janelle was very protected by Barbara and Buddy. Her interaction with anyone outside her family was always chaperoned by her parents, especially Barbara.
How do you know?
If you know Tracy Greenwell, sister to Bill, I met her about 5 years ago. And we were friends at the time. Me and her and Bill, we were friends.
I first met Janelle. She had just moved to this town. She wanted to get out of the house. That's what she'd tell me. She wanted to have friends and she wanted a boyfriend. That's how me and Billy become friends with Janelle.
Have you posted anything to him on the internet about this?
The only thing I had ever posted was please leave me alone.
Billy noticed bad stuff popping on the computer about him. He figured out it's Janelle doing it, but Billy never said anything bad about her.
They were on my account. They hacked in. They hacked in all the time.
Why would they be harassing you? What's the big...
That I wasn't from here, so they were going to be accepted.
Billy and Billie Jean and that circle of friends initially tried to befriend Janelle. As time progressed, there developed claims of harassment over social media back and forth. That kind of just continued to escalate.
Anyone that Janelle come in contact with and she had problems with, the mother and father got involved with. They come and filed complaints and wanted reports. The last time I had a conversation with Buddy, he came to the sheriff's department and it was over someone defriending Janelle on Facebook again. He didn't think I took his complaints about his daughter being defriended serious enough. I said, my advice to you is take this computer away from your daughter and throw it out in the backyard. Someone is going to wind up in serious trouble over all this.
Do you know of anybody that would hurt them, want to hurt them?
No, actually, I don't. I feel bad about the situation.
Did Jamie tell?
No.
I understand they had a kind of a falling out when they were getting complaints.
They never had like a fist fight, nothing like that. Just, you leave me alone. And then Bill would just try to push the woods button.
They did not strike me as the people that would have done this.
If there was problems with harassment between the Potters and Bill and Billie Jean, I think any reasonable person would not think that would lead to something as serious as murder.
When we leave the Potter house, our next interview that we were going to do was going to be with Jamie Kurt.
We brought Jamie in not only because of their family conflict between Jamie and Bill, but also because the relationship between Jamie and the Potters.
Buddy and Jamie were friends. They shot guns together, and Jamie and Janelle were boyfriend and girlfriend.
You understand why we won't talk to you, right? Just to find out what you are one of the few people that we found that Billy's had any problems.
Billy introduced Jamie to Janelle and thought that they would be a good match. From the people we talked to initially, Jamie was taking Janelle's side in this entire feud, and there was a little bit of animosity there because Bill felt that Jamie should be taking Blood's side.
Can you explain to me what kind of problems y'all were having?
He got mad, but I mean, me and Bill, like I say, we're cousins, but like brothers.
We're just checking his demeanor. We try to see which questions get to him more than other questions.
Did you kill Billy or Billie Jean?
No.
Did you participate or know that they were going to be killed before they were killed?
No.
You know, if he could have crawled under that chair, he would have. He's a very timid person to begin with, so it's really hard to judge what he knows.
If you were given an opportunity to take a polygraph examination, you took it, how would you do on it?
Like I say, I mean, hell, he's my brother. Ain't no way I couldn't hurt him.
We wanted to get him polygraphed so we could either include him or exclude him as a suspect. We called Mike Hennon in. Mike was assigned as the polygrapher for the Upper East Tennessee at that time.
Joe informed me that there was a feud between the victims and a girl named Janelle Potter, her and her family, and Jamie Curd. So Jamie came in, and then we did the polygraph test. After the test, I confronted him that he failed the polygraph examination.
You know what bothered you more than anything? The one you had the biggest problem with was number 7. Do you know for sure who killed those people? After testing you, Jamie, I'm not guessing about that anymore. I know you know who killed those people.
When Jamie Curd came in to take the polygraph, the relevant questions I asked were questions like, were you present when these people were killed? Did you do anything to harm these people? But he seemed to have the biggest reaction to were you present? And do you know who?
We thought Jamie was involved in the murders of Bill and Billie Jean.
The questions that bother you the most, and you need to be honest about it, which ones bother you the most?
Just run that one if I was there, because
That bothers you? Let me ask you about when you're there. Your heart thing just goes up, 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 up.
It takes more work to lie than to tell the truth, so obviously your heart rate speeds up. It'll make your fingertips sweat a little bit because it took a little more work to tell that little lie.
one question if you want to answer me is the CIA here?
CIA?
Oh.
No.
Is the CIA here? You don't expect something like that to come up. You just had to kind of take with a grain of salt and explore later on the line. But I didn't want that question to keep us from getting the story of what happened that night.
You know, Jamie, I think you got into a bunch of stuff you had no control of. I know there's been an ongoing feud between you and your cousin. Janelle put stuff on Facebook about Billie Jean and well, here's what Bill got mad at you about because you went and get some blood.
Hey, it was more him having against me.
Well, either way, it don't matter, you know. But country mountain people bleed blood thicker than anything in the world. He couldn't forgive you for that. He just knew his best cousin, the boy he grew up with, thought of as his brother, went against blood. I don't believe you're a bad guy, but I think you've been convinced or talked into doing something you didn't want to do.
Janelle was feuding on Facebook with the victims. If Janelle was involved, Buddy would be involved because Buddy was very protective of his family, especially his daughter. As a matter of fact, he was the type of person that went armed all the time.
I was starting to get that gut feeling that Buddy probably did it. And if Jamie knew anything about it, I felt that he was probably the weakest link.
You know, putting things together, Jamie being a friend of Buddy kind of points you in this direction.
Nobody believes you acted alone in this, okay? Nobody does. But we got to talk about Jamie Curd right now, okay? Now, I got a pretty good idea who got it, but he was already dead at that point.
Both victims had been shot and Bill's throat had been cut.
Trying to give him a way out by saying, I'm not saying you killed anyone, but I know you were there. The reason I said that was to give Jamie a chance to minimize his involvement. It was just another strategy to try to get him to talk to me more about what happened.
Here's what I think. I think they talked you into doing something and you were there and it happened. And I think Buddy had a good tonight. If you don't do something, I'm going to leave you laying here with these two.
I think Jamie was scared of Buddy because he saw what Buddy did. If he didn't do something to prove to Buddy that he was on his side, Buddy would have probably left him laying there dead too.
Were you the only person there when they were killed?
I wasn't there. Everybody's been pointing fingers at me.
It takes a cold-blooded, hateful person to shoot a woman holding a baby. It does. It does. I don't think you're that type of person.
I actually moved in very close to him and touched him on the leg. You're kind of hugging him without hugging him. You're saying, I'm here to listen. At that point, I felt like he was ready to tell me something.
I think you got caught up in something bad, something that you couldn't control. Was it because that you love and care for Janelle that much? You trying to protect her, trying to keep Billy and Billie Jean away from her?
He started getting what we call a 1,000-yard stare. He's not blinking. He's getting real quiet. You can tell his mind is turning.
It's eating you up. All you have to do is say who else was involved. Was the other people there? Or was it just you by yourself?
Well, I didn't do it.
Who did that?
When Jamie was responding, you could hear him responding affirmatively. He may not have been saying yes, but he was making those noises. Yeah. I knew then that we were getting there.
Who shot him? You know who it is, Jamie? Who had the gun?
He did.
He who?
At the point in the interview where Jamie said that Buddy had the gun, we knew Buddy was involved, and we knew we had the right people.
Was Janelle there?
No.
You still trying to protect her?
She wasn't around.
I asked him, knowing that you were there, walk us through what happened. And he went through the events as they occurred.
Let's talk about it now. What did you hear?
Just the shots.
Did you hear Billie Jean when he was in there?
Just that she came out and she screamed and went down the hall.
When did you hear a gunshot? Was it before she came running out or after?
And he said that Buddy Potter confronted the male victim and shot him. And he said the female victim was running trying to protect her child.
Did you tell she had the baby in her arms?
That looked like.
Where were you standing when they got killed?
In a doorway.
Sliding door?
Yeah.
You start putting all the pieces together. Why did Billie Jean not run out the back door if there was only one assailant? Because Jamie was blocking her access to escape through the back door.
Did he give you the knife?
Yeah, he handed it to me.
How did you cut his throat?
Slit across. I gave her the knife and everything. I gave back to him.
Gloves, knife?
The moment you get a confession, you do feel elated, but more than anything else, we were fighting for a small child who just lost his mom and dad. So when you hear these horrible details, you got to control your emotions. You have to focus on what you have to do to complete that task.
We need good buddy. You're going to help us, okay? You can help. You call him up and let him talk about it.
Yeah.
After Jamie admitted his involvement in the case, he agreed to make a phone call to Buddy to corroborate his story.
That phone call was extremely important because we needed to get Buddy to make some type of guilty admission to Jamie over the phone.
Hey, Jim.
After Jamie told us about his involvement with Buddy Potter and the murders of Bill and Billie Jean, we decided to make a recorded telephone call between Jamie and Buddy, just so we can get Buddy to make some type of admission.
Hey, Jim. How you doing?
Well, they're pointing fingers.
Pointing fingers?
Yeah, they're pointing fingers at me, and
Oh, gee, Merry Christmas.
you got rid of everything from Bill, didn't you?
Uh-huh.
Okay. That makes me feel up there.
Yeah.
The very minute I listened to that recording of Jamie and Buddy's conversation, there was no doubt in my mind we had the right person.
We had enough to obtain not only an arrest warrant for Jamie and Buddy, but we had enough to obtain a search warrant for Buddy's house also. Myself, Mike Hannon, and Joe Woodard are the ones that went inside the residence.
We arrested Mr. Potter, and Agent Law and Agent Hannon transported him to the sheriff's office while the rest of the officers, including myself, stayed there to conduct a search warrant.
these. We knew from Buddy's own mouth he was involved. We just had to go in and try to get a confession.
Here's the thing. Mike and I, we've been investigating this case. We don't think you killed him. We know you killed him.
I don't know how you could know something like that when I wasn't out of my house.
We have evidence. We have testimony. We have you talking about it on tape. Who did you talk to tonight?
I talked to Jamie. He called once.
He said, so everything's gone. You said, yes.
He asked me if I had...
No, he's not guessing about what he asked you.
And I think he understood at that point that we had a lot more than he realized we had.
My question is, did a mean, cold-hearted, not caring person go over there and cold-bloodedly kill those people? Or were you protecting your family from somebody you thought was evil and was out to get you?
I'm trying to give Buddy a reason to justify and admit his role in the murders.
We've got families. We can understand wanting to take care of our family. Okay?
Yeah.
You're going to protect your family, right? You love Barbara and Janelle.
Yes, I do.
You would give your life for them.
That's right, I would.
I never experienced true love until I had a child of my own.
I was just trying to connect with him. Hey, we're human, and you were just trying to, show your love for your child.
And I believe wholeheartedly you were protecting your family.
That's fine. I didn't kill him. I'm not going to say I didn't. I did something that I didn't do.
We're dancing around the issue.
There was a point there where I felt that the interview wasn't leading into his acknowledgement of his involvement. I kind of turned to be the bad cop and did a little picking on him.
Buddy, change my mind. Change my mind.
How can I change your mind?
I dare you to change my mind.
How in the world?
The only way you can change my mind is to tell me the truth, buddy.
I have told you the truth.
Well, you're really not, buddy. Hey, start this story over with once upon a time in a land far, far away, because the only thing you've told us tonight, this morning, is a fairy tale. And you know it. Mike knows it. I know it. The entire Johnson County Sheriff's Office knows it.
I don't believe that. I can't change.
Tired of being nice to you, buddy. Tired of giving you opportunity after opportunity to keep your ass from getting in bind, to keep Jamie Kirk from throwing you under the bus. You're not a man. You won't stand up and take your lumps like a man. We've all made mistakes in our lives. Some of them we can try to fix. Some of them we can't. But the ones we can't, we can stand up and be a man, take responsibility for it. And you will not do that.
This is the second very intensive interview we've done that day. We took him from way up here to way down there, and when we got him to the bottom, he still wouldn't let go of anything.
It's over. It's over.
So that we could prove to Buddy that we weren't running a bluff on him. We hit him with the fact we got a conversation recorded between he and Jamie.
You got rid of everything from Bill, didn't you?
No.
Okay.
You got rid of everything from Billy, didn't you?
Uh-huh. You missed it out. That's your voice. But you talking to Jamie Kirk?
That's me. I admit that.
You could tell that he was starting to realize that he was caught.
Well, you know it's over. You know we got it. I just bring it to you. I'm not man.
When somebody comes and wants to kill your family, especially when you hear that somebody's put a $3,000 bounty on her head, on my wife, and me.
Buddy was alleging that there was a bounty out for Janelle and his family. I think that was something that was fabricated. But whether it was true or not that there was a hit, I didn't feel like it rose to the level of violence of these homicides.
He kind of got a little bit emotional about his family. You kind of see like, hey, there's a little chink here that we might can get into.
Does Janelle and Barbara know what you did? No. Would you feel better telling them what you did before you tell us?
Good.
A lot of times, someone feels better if they tell a loved one what happened before they tell law enforcement. So I made a decision to let Buddy call Barbara, and knowing that the phone call would be recorded to try to obtain a confession.
Barbara.
Yeah.
Before you find out from somebody else, I want you to know I did it.
Hello?
Barbara.
Yeah.
Before you find out from somebody else, I want you to know I was involved in it. I did it.
When Buddy told Barbara he did it, at least part of it, it was relief to me.
I don't understand.
It don't matter no more.
To me, it feels like it's resolved to the fact that they pretty much know what I did. He'd given up.
Well,
I didn't want you to be afraid no more.
I'm really not yourself right now. You can think about it more. You're sitting right here.
They say they got proof, so I just want you to know I love you. And I did it to protect you.
I know Stickle's not guilty.
You could hear Barbara coaching Buddy.
Do that.
You've already said more.
If Stickle's not guilty, I still stick to it.
Don't tell him anything, you don't know what you're talking about. And you can kind of feel her trying to give him clues, you know, as to reason he can't talk. But at this point, we began to question Barbara's involvement in this case.
Not guilty.
It don't make a difference now.
Does if you see what I said, it was too easy.
Barbara had talked Buddy back into, you know, don't talk to the police. And when he got off the phone, he invoked his constitutional rights.
I think I should speak to a lawyer now before I say any more.
That's your prerogative. That was kind of a mistake on my part for letting him go that long, but it was also a blessing because we got some really good, damning conversation between Barbara and Buddy in that phone call.
We didn't get a total confession. Every officer wants to get a neat, clean package to take to the DA's office, but that doesn't happen every time.
While we were interviewing Buddy Potter, Chief Deputy Woodard and 2 Sheriff's Office personnel stayed at the Potter residence and executed the search warrant.
Barbara and Janelle Potter, they were awake during the search warrant. They really didn't seem too nervous. They were sort of frustrated that we were there.
Am I allowed on my Facebook to get phone numbers from my phone?
Taking your computer.
No, we're taking your computer.
So I won't get my phone numbers from my phone.
Will we get this stuff back?
Eventually. During the time that we were searching the residence, Miss Barbara Potter, she leans over and she grabs some papers that were sitting sort of next to me, and while I'm logging in the evidence, she starts ripping these papers in half. So I stop her. I said, "Give me those papers." And it's a picture of the victim, Billie Jean Hayworth, and some of her friends. And I looked at it, I thought, man, I can't believe she just ripped that up right here in front of me. Yeah, she started ripping them up and I took them. There should have been no reason for her to have ripped those in half unless she didn't want me to have them. This sort of just shocked me. I couldn't believe she was doing it. I started thinking, you know, Barbara does know what's going on.
While looking at the pictures that had been ripped, we noticed there was a couple of email addresses on there, one being Barbara Potter's email address and the other being Janelle Potter's email address. You know, I decided to execute a search warrant and recover any emails we could.
We also had a search warrant for the vehicle owned by the Potters.
From that truck, there was 3 trash bags full of shredded paperwork. I had that sent to our Nashville lab where we had forensic scientists tape those emails and shredded paper back together.
Agent Lott received a copy of those emails, and there was thousands of emails.
We found a lot of communications with a person named Chris. This Chris person was supposedly associated with the Central Intelligence Agency. It looked like Chris was trying to convince not only the Potter family, but Jamie also, that there was a real threat out there from Bill Payne, Billie Jean Hayworth, and all their friends, and that if something wasn't done to stop that threat, then Janelle or possibly the whole Potter family would be hurt.
It was very unusual type of writing and attitude from someone that would be a federal investigator of any sort. You know, a CIA agent writing about how pretty and sweet and kind Janelle Potter is, and then sometimes it's talking about killing somebody.
It was starting to make sense to us why Jamie, in his interview, he was asking about the CIA.
Is the CIA here? CIA? No.
I had no reason to believe that the CIA was in Johnson County, Tennessee.
We needed to get more evidence on who was actually writing all of these emails. We asked Janelle Potter and Barbara to come to the sheriff's office and type out a statement. We were going to compare their statements with the typing of Chris, the CIA agent.
From looking at the writing styles of the emails from Chris, it was very easy to associate that writing style with Janelle Potter's writing style, just due to grammatical errors and ways that people write and type.
We found out that Chris and Janelle Potter were the same person. Janelle manipulated Jamie, Barbara, and Buddy to kill Bill and Billie Jean.
At the time we arrested Jamie and Buddy, we had no idea of Barbara and Janelle's involvement in this case.
Agents Slott and Hannon did an excellent job of interviewing both Buddy Potter and Jamie Curd. The most important thing about these confessions was it gave us probable cause to get the email histories from Janelle Potter.
From the emails, we proved Janelle was this Chris CIA person.
Janelle was posing as Chris, the CIA agent, communicating that, in his opinion, Janelle was in danger from Bill and Billie Jean.
There was a lot of manipulation going on.
The case carried all the characteristics of a catfish case. People usually are assuming fake identities online in order to lure people into romantic relationships. But in this case, Janelle Potter was behind the keyboard posing as Chris because she was using that as a vehicle to get people to do things that she herself couldn't probably convince them to do.
Janelle Potter was sending emails as Chris to herself. She would print them and then delete them. These emails were being shown to Buddy in order to antagonize him and get him all riled up, to the point where 2 innocent people were murdered. We also have Barbara writing emails to Jamie and responding to Chris's emails.
There was evidence Barbara, through these emails, would communicate back to Chris, the CIA agent, hatching a scheme to facilitate Jamie Curd to be the person who assisted Buddy Potter in killing Bill and Billie Jean.
The fact that there were emails that had been printed and shredded in the back of Buddy Potter's truck only, solidified everyone's involvement in this.
You can't just tell a story like this. It was unreal. The different directions it kept going. Most bizarre thing I've ever seen.
Once we got our arms around the forensics with the emails to prove who wrote what, then that gave us probable cause to arrest Barbara and Janelle.
This is the warrant, Barbara. Okay? You're charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. Conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, okay?
I had 2 major concerns trying the women, and that was One, how do we present this evidence so they understand it? And then two, how do I structure my legal argument to convince a jury and the judge that these women are responsible for crimes when they were not physically present at the home when it happened?
It was as important to me to get Janelle convicted as it was to get Marvin, because she was the mastermind behind all this.
Through our research, we found the actual agitation that the Potters had towards these people was a deeper story than we thought. Janelle had formed some level of infatuation toward Bill Payne. And when he commenced a relationship with Billie Jean Hayworth, Janelle Potter then had something against Miss Hayworth.
This is what the harassment feud was about.
It seemed that Janelle was preoccupied and consumed with Bill Payne. In my opinion, she was probably leading Jamie on in order to get more access to Bill. I never found any evidence that Bill or Billie Jean tried to harass Janelle, but Janelle tried to represent to her parents that they had.
It was all made up.
There was no bounty.
Like I told the jury, what happened would not have happened without these women. You know, with what you know about this case, close your eyes and imagine these killings happening without Barbara Potter, and then do the same thing with Janelle Potter. And if you can't imagine it, then they need to be held responsible for it. Both Barbara and Janelle Potter were convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder. They received 2 life sentences running concurrently. Buddy Potter was convicted of 2 counts of first-degree murder as well as conspiracy of those murders. He received 2 life sentences running consecutive to each other.
Jamie Curd eventually testified against Barbara and Janelle Potter, and for his cooperation, he received a sentence of 25 years.
You never imagine it's going to be, you know, your family. You just don't think that. Because they didn't deserve what they had to go through.
The baby is now in the custody of a family member, and I'm sure he's well taken care of and well loved, but still, part of his life's been stolen. And obviously, his mom and dad's life were stolen. And there's things he'll never experience, and there's things they'll never experience because of this heinous crime.
For more about Criminal Confessions, go to Oxygen.com.